everyone. I'm Lena Geraghty. I'm the Director of Urban Innovation and Sustainability for the National League of Cities, the voice of America's cities, towns, and villages. We're the oldest organization supporting American cities, and we have the privilege of representing more than 200,000 people and communities across the country. I'm really excited to be here today to talk about digital equity and broadband infrastructure. Just 20 years ago, having access to the internet was really a luxury. Today, it's an essential utility for participation in daily life. Leaders in Puerto Rico know well the challenges of local recovery from natural disaster when communications networks aren't resilient and up to the task. The COVID-19 pandemic has even further driven home the need for internet. Kindergartners adjusted to their first time in a public school by logging on to virtual classrooms. Furloughed workers applied for benefits from online from their states, and frontline healthcare workers were able to provide telehealth just because they had access to the internet. Modern life would not have been possible the last 2 years without the internet. So access to broadband really matters. I hope I just made that clear. And it has real-world impacts on the lives of residents all over the globe. Research shows that countries that have access to broadband have significantly higher economic output than countries that don't have access. And not only does broadband serve the foundation of the economy, encouraging entrepreneurship and fostering small business growth, it also increases the quality of life for those who have access. The Federal Communications Commission has stated that access to broadband is a social determinant of health, finding that residents with lower access have higher prevalence of disease, such as diabetes, obesity, when compared to the national average. Unfortunately, not everyone benefits from this vital tool. Because of barriers in affordability, accessibility, availability, and skills, an estimated 42 million residents in the US don't have access to broadband at all, while about 160 million people don't have access to high-speed, reliable broadband that can enable them to live their lives as they'd like. Here in Puerto Rico, only 29.5% of residents have access to high-speed internet. This really has to change. City leaders have the power to do something about this and bring everyone in their communities into the 21st century. The FCC's Bringing Puerto Rico Together Fund will make major improvements to broadband infrastructure here. And it is our hope that the $65 billion investment in broadband and digital equity in the recently passed bipartisan infrastructure law will help close the digital divide through the US. Local leaders have more federal resources at their disposal to tackle the digital divide than ever, and the National League of Cities is committed to helping cities, towns, and villages take advantage of this historic opportunity to bridge the digital divide and enable their residents to benefit from all that high-speed, reliable internet has to offer. In December 2021, we released a new resource called the Digital Equity Playbook that helps city leaders determine the cause of the digital divide in their community, provides recommendations to address it, and shares stories from local governments suggesting additional resources to consider in this work. To address the digital divide, local leaders have to understand where it begins with, and this requires having data at your fingertips to make this decision really smartly and invest in solutions that are going to meet those most in need in your community. So the playbook, which I really encourage you to take a look at, it's online. It lays out a 4-part process for cities no matter where they are in their digital equity and broadband infrastructure journey to really get started. The playbook is also focused on infrastructure and programmatic solutions for cities to explore. There are more than 40 case studies in there, so local leaders can get a sense of the creative solutions that they might be able to provide in their own communities. You'll hear about how the city of San Rafael, California built a wireless network to get 2,000 households online during the pandemic, or how Granbury, Texas bounced back from a public-private partnership that wasn't meeting their needs to acquire the wireless network and serve their residents directly as a city. You'll also hear how the city of Baltimore partnered to offer digital literacy courses. The internet is truly a foundation of our modern lives. When I think about how city leaders can benefit from all that smart city solutions are available today and prepare for the future of what's next, energy, but also broadband is really, really key to making sure that residents can live, work, and play. The National League of Cities is committed to helping cities at all stages of their digital equity journey. We hope you will come join us to explore the possibilities in your community to bridge the digital divide and benefit from all the internet has to offer.